FX, and it remains the most popular show in the network's history. In fact, it debuted as the most popular show in FX's history. One of the guys who's been there for the entire ride is Theo Rossi, who plays Juice Ortiz, the character that is single-handedly bringing mohawk haircuts and skull tattoos back into fashion. You can see new episodes of Sons of Anarchy Tuesday evenings at 10 on FX. They just premiered Season 6. Theo Rossi, welcome to the Bob Rivers Show. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Bob. And you're right. Skull tattoos are running rampant. It's like an epidemic.
Yeah.
Hey, those got to be real, right?
They are not real.
You're kidding.
My mom would kill me, and I probably would be relegated to being an extra on Oz after I leave this.
That's funny.
So no, they are not. It's makeup every morning.
Wow. Hey, Theo, when it's funny because I watch the show, although I was a latecomer, one of those people that gave a DVD to, and I didn't know anything about motorcycle clubs, and I started watching it, and I said, oh, this is a pretty good show. I really love Katie Seagal. I just love I love everything about it. And when Luciana handed me your promo photo today and said, it is Theo Rossi from Sons of Anarchy. You will love this because you like the show. I looked at it and I went, I don't recognize that guy. Because you in a short haircut looking like a real sweet guy. And then I looked at the photo of Juice and I was like, oh, that badass. So,
totally different guy.
Tell me the makeup, the real life transformation to Juice. Do you wear a skull? Do you wear a thing that all this is drawn on? And do you still have your short hair? Do you have to shave your head and wear a wig? How do you deal with it?
No, well, I go in. We do makeup for about an hour and a half every day.
Wow.
And even longer if I'm shirtless or nude or something like that.
Of course.
Basically, what they do is they shave my. Well, I shave the mohawk every day, and then they bick it with shaving cream, and then they start putting tattoos all over my body. I have the ones on my head, and I probably have about 5 or 6 more huge pieces that they transfer onto my body, and it's kind of a good way to, start the process of jumping into that character.
Wow. And are you married or in a relationship, and do you have to go home every day and required to be clean again? What's the deal?
The head tattoos we take off every night just because I ride a motorcycle in my own life, so they usually get messed up by putting the helmet on and off all day.
Uh-huh.
And then, when you go to the gym and stuff, they can kind of come out. But, they're usually left on if I'm not on the bike, but the on ones are left on. They have to redo those every couple of days. So I basically look like Juice 6 months a year.
Wow. And then you can grow the hair in a little bit and just sort of be a little bit of not. Do a lot of people come up to you wherever you are?
Yeah, it's pretty. There's no mistaking that I'm. We try to play that joke now when people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, and I'm like, what? And they're like, you're Juice from Sons of Anarchy. I'm like, no, I hear that a lot. There's no mistaking that I'm, and then I always joke around with them like, of course I am. I hope no other lunatic is walking around Earth like this. With the huge tattoos on my head and ones all over my arms and kind of the Juice hawk, as they call it, with the points at the back. It's a very distinctive look, and we have a huge audience. We keep breaking our own record every year. It's the biggest show in FX history, and
right.
I think one of the biggest shows ever on cable history, and we're also beating every network show on television at this point that's on the same night as us.
Right.
So it's a huge show, and our fans are the greatest fans in the world, so they get really excited.
And your character is pivotal because what usually happens is you find out something, and then the you-know-what hits the you-know-what. And by the way, every time something, I think you're going to die. And like you were shivved 18 times. Do you ever start reading a script and go, oh, this might be my last episode?
Well, Kurt is Kurt, the creator. Kurt Sutter is such an amazing, boss as well as a writer, and and also, played one of the characters on the show.
Dude, spoiler alert!
I didn't say anything.
You know what?
And that was the most awesome scene.
I can't listen to you anymore. Go ahead.
He's not working today. He's late. He's not
Gotcha.
working.
Yeah.
In the wardrobe. No, the thing is that before the season, you have your meeting, and you kind of have an idea of what the ins and outs and the arc of your character is going to be for that season. So you're not, tremendously surprised. So you could tell your loved ones, you could tell your agent, you could tell your accountant. This could be, we need to start moving forward. But,
Right. So do you? Do they tell you? Listen, before you read the script, that don't worry, you're going to live.
No, you're as shocked by the things that are going to occur as everybody. The little nuances of it, but on the overall theme of what's going to occur, you kind of have an idea, but you don't get to see it in writing until the week before.
You mentioned that you ride a motorcycle in real life as well, Theo. Do you have a Harley, or do you ride something different?
I do. I have two bikes, but my everyday bike is a Harley. It's a 2013 custom Street Bob that I ride every day.
You mentioned also people recognize you a lot. Do real mean bikers ever recognize you, and are they huge fans of the show, or do they want to test your actual toughness?
Real mean bikers. Well, first of all, the one thing I've learned in the 6 years since we've been on this whole journey since '08 is the biker community, the MCs, the motorcycle clubs, and just the whole community of motorcycle enthusiasts in general are probably some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Because
Good to say. Yeah.
They have a huge sense of community.
Yes, they do. They're very charitable. Yes.
We've got that on tape. Now they'll give your dog
They're the
back.
loveliest people I've ever met.
They're not anything like the Sons of Anarchy.
Wonderful.
They're all lovely people,
Yes.
and I will have them over for dinner anytime. No, they're just, we're like their little show. You know what I mean? We're like their own private soap opera. So they've really embraced our show tremendously.
Right, and they know that it's a drama.
Of course
they do. Yeah.
It's a very heightened reality.
There is a listener on the phone. He's so persistent, a huge fan who wants to ask you a question, and I think it's a fair question. Actually, it's a gal. Maggie, are you there?
I am.
Yeah.
Juicy, first of all, I love you. I've loved you all seasons. Second, I kind of wanted your take on it because I've gotten a lot of negative feedback from my fellow fans this season. And I'm wondering if Kurt is doing the very graphic, very in-your-face kind of season because he wants to show that biker world is not all fun and games in Disneyland and that actually bad things can happen from running guns and money and whatnot. And
is there a social message in this season?
It's a little over the top.
As far as gun running is a good question, Maggie. Let's ask. Theo?
That's a really good question. No, I think that this is no surprise to anybody that Sam Crow, Sons of Anarchy, has been in the gun business, for a while now. And if you're in a business like that in this world, things occur, bad things happen, and I think that Kurt so masterfully is just showing that it's not just all kind of fun and games, like you say, in that business, and that there are consequences that come from it, and those consequences are going to hit even our core family, as you would say, in the show. So
right. I don't want to know any more spoilers. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me anything. But so like in Breaking Bad, another great acclaimed show on cable. This is serious business. Theo, before you go, I would be remiss if I don't mention all of your philanthropy, all of the things you do in support of our men and women in the military, ambassador for the boot campaign. You visit the military bases and the boot ride and rally and all of those things. Why is that your main cause?
Well, it's always been, we had a guy, Henry Rollins, was on the show in '09, and he kind of introduced us kind of to that whole world. And a few of us, Tig, myself, and a couple others went to Iraq and Kuwait, and that kind of started this, for lack of a better term, love affair with the military of realizing of what these men and women do for us. And now, the boot campaign, as an ambassador for the boot campaign, it basically is a tangible way to show the troops, the men and women, that we're here, where we realize what they do for us. And by putting a pair of boots on, by showing them when they come back, we give back, by setting up these programs that deal with PTSD, wounded warriors, all these different programs for men and women to make their transition back home easier. And then, from Boot Campaign, my charity, Staten Strong, which has been pivotal in the rebuilding of New York after Sandy's devastation. So
monstrous after Sandy.
We're trying to do a bunch of different things, as many as we can, because, when you're in a position like you guys are and we're in and everybody's in, it's like, the more you can do and the more awareness you could raise for things, people just need to be kind of aware of what's going on.
Thank you so much, Theo. Theo Rossi, Sons of Anarchy, plays Juice. He's the man.
You're
Thanks
the
for
man,
your time.
Theo. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Don't die on us.
He's going to die.
I'm going to try not to.
Okay.